Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. This video is in addition to the Mercury Retrograde in Leo video that I'm making. This is an extra information about Mercury Combust. Now, Mercury is going retrograde and combust on 31st of August. And when on 31st of August Mercury becomes combust, it means it is coming within 12 degrees of the Surya, sun which is already in the sign of Leo. Now, which means that until 13th of September, Mercury will be approaching the sun and will remain combust. And then on 6th of September, Mercury will be in close conjunction with Surya. That means they will be at the same degree. And then on 13th, although Mercury will remain retrograde, but on 13th, the combustion will end when Mercury will enter Purva Falguni Nakshatra. By this time, Sun will be about to leave the sign of Leo and move to the sign of Virgo. And this retrograde Mercury will be kind of in a position where this is heavily influenced by retrograde Saturn. Retrograde Saturn will be in Sadbhisha Nakshatra in the sign of Aquarius, and this retrograde Saturn will be aspecting this Mercury heavily. This Mercury and Saturn retrogression and plus combustion is like a phenomena where you might not trust the information that comes to you. See, when Mercury becomes retrograde, it is a very normal phenomena because Mercury is a very fast moving planet. Its orbital speed is very fast, and because it revolves around the sun in like around 88 days, you will see that as per the Earth's revolution speed, 3 or 4 times Mercury will become retrograde. Often Mercury is combust because Mercury will come very close to the sun, and we will not be able to view Buddha as a planet. Now, if you have to see this, you will have to use special telescopes and special tools where you have to see Buddha when it is transiting the Surya. Now, in this case, you will have to be mindful of taking decisions on the base of assumptions, number one. Second, there will also be the case where there will be constant change of decisions because circumstances changes very often. That is also something that you will have to be careful, especially if you are a fire zodiac sign. You should not react through your emotions, through your knowledge immediately. So when you are debating, someone might use your this fiery attitude. Someone might use your knowledge and put you down in front of everybody else just by creating a weird kind of situation. Maybe a debate where you don't want to, where you should have never involved yourself into. So be watchful of those kind of things. Second, because Sun and Mercury are coming together, this means that you should do a lot of adhyayan. That means self-study, swadhyaya. And this is where your mind should be more focused about your own talent, what you can do, what you cannot do, assessing your limitations and working around those limitations, not trying to cross the boundary, but kind of expanding the boundary itself. You should also see that by this time, Jupiter will also become retrograde because Jupiter is retrograding on 4th of September. And this retrograde Jupiter will have a direct effect on Buddha. So now Buddha as a planet is not only combust, but it is getting the aspect of both Jupiter and Saturn. And when a planet is combust, planet apparently loses the power, apparently, not really, because it is visibly absent, which means you are not able to recognize the strength. So in that case, Jupiter's guidance and Saturn's experience will come into play. So if you really want to, if somebody or something tests or challenges you, then you need to apply all your wisdom, all your experience. That means you will have to react in a very, very polite manner with a lot of delays. Do not give an impromptu response. Do not immediately take a hasty decision. Rather wait, because retrograde Mercury can really rearrange things in a weird manner. And one more thing that you have to observe is, and in fact a good thing, that Venus will become direct by the early September, and Venus will be approaching this Mercury. And Mercury is approaching this Venus. Although they are not going to touch each other from the opposite ends of the zodiac, but the problem here is that it can trigger a lot of expenses. Say, to feel good or to make yourself feel superlative, better than others, you end up buying things, you end up doing things, you end up taking certain decisions which boosts your ego. And sometimes, we tend to feel that I deserve better. I'm not saying this is wrong, but sometimes you have to tell yourself, do you really deserve better, or you already have a better thing and it is just your thoughts playing with you? This is when guidance will be needed. This is when suggestions will be needed. So it is the time when mostly all of you should consult each other. We all will be on the same boat, but if we consult each other, if we talk to each other, what will happen? It will give us different perspective, different point of view. And anyone who is born as Leo ascendant, Leo moon sign, Virgo ascendant, Virgo moon sign, or Gemini ascendant, Gemini moon sign, should be slightly careful. If you are born with a combust Mercury or retrograde combust Mercury in your birth chart, this is the time that Jupiter's and Saturn's guidance will come into play, and you can search for a guru. Because if you get a guru, a right mentor, if you get someone who can give you the right advice according to you, then you might be in the right place. You might see that energies are actually working in a positive direction for you. For the remedies, you can chant Ganesh Atharvashirsha. You can simply chant the mantra Om Gam Ganapate Namah, Om Gam Ganapate Namah, and that will help you a lot in the long run. Retrograde Mercury in Leo can also act in geopolitical sense, because Leo is the seat of power. So you will also see that the circumstances will be such that people who are in power might lose power, and people who don't have power might get power. But this power struggle should not happen on a personal level, like in the personal life between husband and wife, between father and son. If it is happening at a geopolitical level, that's a different thing. That's a different ball game. Try not to bring these kind of power struggle in your own family, within yourself. Ego should be immediately countered with a higher consciousness, with the kind of realization that there is something higher above us who is actually managing all this, and he is the one who is the doer, he is the one who is the receiver. So if you be detached, you will see that you will be in the right direction, and this retrograde Mercury will cause no harm and will actually do good to you, because retrograde Mercury sometimes can take your consciousness back in the past, and sometimes you can actually focus on things which was better in the past. You can draw inspiration from the past. You can draw inspiration from gurus who were in the past, like Lahiri Mahashay, like Tailanga Swami, Ramakrishna Paramhans. So when you see and when you read about the lives of them, you will get inspiration. You will get message. And this retrograde Mercury may also help you correct your mistakes by learning from other people's mistake. So if you're a student of life, it will be a great time for you. It does not matter what age you are in. And from the health perspective, you have to be careful. I'm talking in general. You just have to be careful from any immunity related problem. If you have an afflicted Mercury in your chart, if you have a Saturn Mercury in your chart, you should be careful while you're trading. And markets might see a lot of corrections, a lot of transformation during this time. So if you are involved into that kind of stuff, you must be watchful of, and minor fluctuations will matter more during this time. So overall, this retrograde Mercury, which is quite a regular phenomena, is actually this time it is good because it is getting the experience of Jupiter, guidance of Saturn, and kind of better resource management by Mars in Virgo. I've already explained in details for all ascendant in my Mercury transit in Mercury retrograde in Leo video. Do watch that video. This was just like additional take that I wanted to share, focusing only on the combust part of the transit. Thank you for watching this video till now. Please subscribe, share the video among family and friends. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, namaste.